Well, I am continuing my crusade against um, these young people putting out YouTube videos all the time. It is a personal crusade for me because it seems like we have a lot of people that are proclaiming themselves to be these masters into paganism when they really don't know much about it. They've read a couple books. They've talked to some people online for a couple of years, and all of a sudden they're high priestesses and high priests. There was one person who was reading a book about draconian Wicca, and then it's like 3 weeks later she was trying to teach people how to do draconian Wicca. There is so much to learn in paganism. You can't just pick up a book and proclaim it and then try to teach it. It's a devotion, and if you have no experience, no patience, you shouldn't be teaching it. The video that I'm wanting to show you is of a young lady who's maybe 20 years old who wants to tell us the right way to do witchcraft. But does she know the right way to do witchcraft? No, she doesn't.
Today I just wanted to do a video about the right way to practice witchcraft. I see people ask questions like, is there a certain way that you have to do it, or is there a certain way you have to practice? And my answer will always be the same, and no, there's not a certain way you have to practice. And the right way is how you're doing it right now. You don't need to change anything.
She says there is no set way. The way that you're doing it now is right. Okay. If somebody does not have all the training in witchcraft, and they don't know it, they're not doing it right. They're missing things. They're wasting their time. And so telling the people, well, hell, whatever you're doing good. No. What if people read a bad book? I mean, unfortunately, there's these really bad authors out there that are putting out some bogus material. And if that's what they've read, they're doing it wrong. And somebody does need to tell them. Somebody does need to take these people by the hand and teach them some fundamentals, to teach them balance. Okay? Like the signs of the moon. We need to know those. Calling the corners, calling the elements. There are all these important steps. Widdershins, docile. Does the person know the difference between these two terms? You can't just say, well, however you're doing it right now is good.
A lot of people will tell people that what they're doing is wrong, or what they believe in is wrong, which is messed up, because what is right to someone else might not be right to you. Or if someone believes in something, you might not believe in it, and people have different beliefs, and that's okay.
People have different beliefs. Yes, they do. But that has absolutely nothing to do with witchcraft. Witchcraft is a skill. Not all pagans are witches. There are many pagans who don't want to do magic. They are content and very happy having strong ties to the earth. So I don't think she understands the difference between witchcraft and paganism. the beliefs.
That's the good, that's the like one of the best things about witchcraft and being spiritual is that you can shape your spirituality.
The best thing about witchcraft and being spiritual is that you can shape your spirituality. Okay, so there we go. She does not know the difference between being spiritual and being a witch. As I was just saying, not all pagans are witches. Okay? You don't even have to be pagan to be a witch. You can be a Christian witch. Okay? They do have them. There's a lot of other religions that have magic users in them. So she's getting Wicca, paganism mixed up with witchcraft, and this is a part of the ignorance that I'm trying to fight.
So there's nothing wrong with being who you are. Don't ever let someone tell you that there's something wrong with that.
Now, true, there's nothing wrong with being who you are. One of the most important aspects about working with magic is you have got to find yourself. You got to have faith in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. If you don't have the strength here and here, you cannot perform magic. Because if you let other people take away your strength, you're powerless. So you have to believe in yourself.
Like a lot of people, they bash Wicca because they follow a reed and Wicca's newer.
Yes, people do bash Wicca, but it's mostly because of some of the people that proclaim Wicca as their beliefs. Such as myself, I am very harsh on a lot of the practitioners of Wicca because a lot of them seem to be very ignorant towards Wicca and paganism. They are unbalanced. They only want these wonderful things and they don't want to deal with any of the more harsher, darker tones. And so it lacks balance, and people that just can't handle that balance, I dislike.
I follow the reed to a certain extent.
And here she says she only follows the reed to a certain extent. Interesting. You see, the Wiccan reed is not a fundamental part of Wicca. One of the other issues that I'm having with a lot of our millennial Wiccans, pagans, is that they are taking the Wiccan reed, which means advice. Reed means advice. And they're trying to say that it is dogma. It is law. It is the way it's supposed to be. Harm none is a law, according to a lot of the Wiccans. And then what these Wiccans do is they try to impose this on other pagans. So here she is saying that she likes the reed, but only when it works for her. And so
someone called me Wiccan, I wouldn't get offended because I'm more like an eclectic than anything else.
And then she goes, if somebody was to call her a Wiccan, she wouldn't be offended. Well, she shouldn't be. She has the word Wicca in her YouTube channel. So if she was to say that she was offended if somebody called her Wicca, I'd call her a hypocrite.
I take a bunch of religions and put them into my own kind of path, so I kind of like have my own religion practice.
She's eclectic. Well, that's no surprise. It just seems like 95% of the Wiccans out there on YouTube today are eclectics. But she says that she borrows from different religions. Well, if you keep on borrowing from different religions, it's not really Wicca. because Wicca is its own belief system, and then you have these other religions. And so if you take a little bit from Hinduism, a little bit from Christianity, some Buddhism, throw it in, it's not any of them, and it's not Wicca. It's some other creation. And usually these creations lack foundation, and so they are just terrible.
But that's just me, and I'll make a video about that some other time. But if you follow a read or if you don't, it doesn't matter, because whatever feels right to you is right. And no one has the right to tell you that it's not right just because they don't believe in it. So, like, the only rules, the thing about witchcraft is there's no rules. The only rules that's in witchcraft, or the only rules in the religion or spirituality you follow, is the rules that you make. There doesn't have to be any rules if you don't want them to be. And if you want to have your own rules and how you practice, then that's fine. You can do that too.
Thing about witchcraft is there is no rules. If you don't want them, they're not there. Well, they're rules. So I've been trying to say here, we have to have rules. We have to have foundations. There are some things that we're not going to like about the rules, but they're there for a reason. And so this person here is showing just how undereducated she is about Wicca. She can't tell the difference between the beliefs and magic, spell work, witchcraft. That's a skill. It is something that we can do in our beliefs, but they're not our beliefs. There are Wiccan witches, but there are just Wiccans. There are Christian witches as well. You probably have Muslim witches. All these other different beliefs could have witches in them. It's not a part of our belief system. And, some people are going to say that I'm extremely mean on this, but I would not take anything this person says seriously or give it any credit, because if she can't tell the difference between beliefs like Wicca and witchcraft, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So everybody, please consider what I've just said, and take care. Be at peace.